control sequences that are on the console. And if you're using the Macintoshes, you have to make sure your program, particularly Control P, doesn't steal. Sometimes Macintosh programs want to steal Control P. But Control P gives us what's called a process dump. And the code in this is a part of the operating system that what it does is it's sitting there staring at the screen waiting for input. And if it gets a Control P, it just dumps the status of all the processes. Nothing else happens. It does not worry about security or anything. It's there as a last ditch way of saying what's going on with the system. So we do as little as possible. Could it give us inconsistent results? Yes, but we recognize that. So what's going to happen here, and you'll be modifying this in Project 1, is here's Control P. And we printed out the process ID. All processes have an identifier. What's the name of the process? How much time has elapsed since we booted? What are we currently doing? Well, both of them are sleeping. The init's waiting for some poor child process to exit, and sleep is waiting for someone to type something in. The control sequence did not use any time in SH because the operating system intercepted it before it got to SH. Control P is not processed by SH. Okay, it's processed by the operating system. These are the size in bytes, and these are the program counters. So this is where it currently is at, and it got to here by being called from this location, being called from this location, being called from this location. You can trace these program counters in kernel.asm, which is the disassembled form of all this. All right. So if you go to kernel.asm, this is my disassembled version of the operating system. And I say, well, what the heck? Where are we? Over here. You guys know about regular expressions, right? And if I use this up arrow, the shift and caret, shift 6, it says look at the beginning of the line. So I want to find in this file, I want to find the line that begins with a particular address. So I just copy and pasted that number, and it tells me, hey, this is where you're at. Remember that the program counter always points to the next instruction to be executed. It does not point to the current one. So it's not currently executing P equals channel. It's currently sitting in the routine scan. Is where it's at. Okay. And the operating system right now, because it's not doing anything, the operating system is just going around going, is there any work to do? No. 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 It's doing that as fast as it can. Okay. It's called busy wait. And this is what it looks like. You can see that, P arrow state equals sleeping. That's the C code. The next line underneath it, that tells you what it compiled to. Here's a panic. So when we crash our operating system, we call the panic routine. We don't actually crash it at that point because we want to be able to debug it at that point. So panic is a routine that just prints a message and then sits in a tight loop doing nothing. So then you can go into GDB if you want, hit Control C, and do debugging at that point. Okay? So you get all sorts of familiar with this.
Mark, real quickly, what's on the screen now? This is Vim of
kernel.asm.
Kernel.asm.
This is the disassembled kernel object file. Your operating system is called kernel after it's been built, and we disassembled it, ran it through object dump.
So these are like the line numbers in the final.
Well, these are the memory addresses.
Yeah, memory addresses. Yeah.
See, we have to disassemble it to get the memory addresses because we have to have gone through the linker.
Okay.
So that's how we get the actual memory addresses.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Lost a step there.
By Project 3, many of you are going to come to know and love this file. The rest of you will come to know and hate it. Okay. So that's that. Okay. And we've just walked through all the changes we're going to make for Project 1 as well. All right. Now, Project 1 would give you an example report. You guys see it up on the web page? Mm-hmm. Your report's going to look pretty much just like that, except all the screenshots are going to be yours. Okay. And you'll note that we've followed a particular form of the format where we lay it out. What's the test? What's the test trying to do? What do we expect? What's the output? Discuss it. Did the test pass or fail? That's specified in the test report section of your survival guide that you must follow that form. Okay? And please do follow it because the graders are looking for a pattern. And if the pattern's not there, they're told to mark it wrong. Your test might be correct, but you're going to have to come and argue with me for it. And at the end of it, I'm going to say, please could you just follow the instructions? Okay, it makes life easier for everyone. Because we have 100 people, and you're going to be writing, what, 8 tests in this first one? And so I've got people who are going to have to go through and grade 800 tests. At the end of Project 2, you'll probably have 20 tests. So they're going to have to look at 20 pieces of output. Try to be nice. You notice how I made the background on this white and made the foreground black? It's much easier for the graders to read when you take a screenshot. And we want you to use screenshots. If you do a copy and paste, once again, while we trust you, someone can come to us and say, prove that that isn't just them typing it in there. If the university does that, we want to be able to say, no, it's more work to fake this screenshot than it is to do the code right. So we have great faith. Okay, but if it's cut and paste, how do I know? It might not be a cut and paste. You might just have typed a bunch of stuff into that report, and off you go. Okay. We trust but verify. We can only verify so far. So we do require screenshots. Do you guys know how to do screenshots and scale them down and all that kind of fun stuff? Does anyone here use what's the one that I use? IrfanView. IrfanView is a really powerful tool for doing it. Some people, if you don't know how to do it, hop on the Slack channel. Everybody will hop on and tell you what their favorite tool is and why it works great, and just find the one that works best for you. Okay, there's no one right way to do it. For doing screenshots, have you guys taken a look at the LaTeX source for the report, so you can see how I do it? Has anybody done that? We got a couple of minutes. Let's quickly look at that.